seems today as if handheld walkie-talkies have been attacked. A number exploding, and at least 3 people are reported to have been killed in Bekaa, hundreds wounded in a second day of attacks on devices. It comes almost 24 hours after those initial attacks as pagers exploded. That has left at least 12 people dead, 300 people said to be in a critical condition in hospital, and thousands injured. Now, as it stands, Israel have not commented on what has been happening in the past 24 hours, but this is Beirut currently here on the left of screen, where funerals have been taking place for 4 of those killed in yesterday's incidents. Let's bring in our security and defence editor, Deborah Haynes, for more on this. So, Deb, look, almost exactly 24 hours on, and similar reporting now that handheld devices, this time it seems walkie-talkies exploding, 3 people having been killed.
Yes, and again, as you can imagine, experts are trying to work out and think how that could be possible in terms of yesterday when the pagers started exploding, such a novel form of attack that we just haven't seen before on this scale. Obviously,
Deborah, if I can just stop you for a moment there, sorry about that. We just want to show viewers the latest footage that we have of one of these walkie-talkies that we believe may well have exploded in this latest round of attacks, incidents of handheld devices held by Hezbollah exploding. 3 people known to have been killed in the Bekaa region, hundreds injured. This reported to be one of those devices. Deb, look, sorry to interrupt you there as you were in full flow, but let's pick back up where you were taking us to, that this now the second day of this kind of incident, this kind of attack on Hezbollah.
Yeah, and again, the speculation, and obviously, like yesterday, it's speculation about how this kind of attack could be orchestrated, and obviously looking again at the supply chain for these walkie-talkies. Were they sourced at the same time as the pagers that have appeared to have been tampered with? The theory is that people assume that those pagers were tampered with the explosives put inside them, and then some kind of trigger and detonating device inside them, and then a trigger that could have been sent with a message that would have enabled them to explode at the same time, which is what happened yesterday. Obviously, with walkie-talkies, then they operate on a different kind of network to pagers. I'm not an expert on that, but clearly, while it would be a bit harder to target walkie-talkies, as with the pagers, you could have just sent messages to all of the pagers and they would have then detonated. With walkie-talkies, maybe you'd need to be a bit closer to the devices to be able to get onto their networks. Could a drone have been used to trigger the explosions, if that's what's happened, if these were also mini bombs, mini ticking time bombs? You can imagine right now people will be poring over the images, looking at the damage that was caused to the devices themselves. As you're seeing on the screen, clearly there's been some kind of explosion or blast to that device, and then looking at the type of injury that it's caused, and from that trying to extrapolate what actually happened. And if you're judging by what happened yesterday, where it does seem that the pagers that Hezbollah fighters were using had been tampered with explosives put inside them, then it's not too much of a stretch to imagine that perhaps the same thing has happened to these walkie-talkies. You can imagine for Hezbollah, they must be looking at all of their devices now and wondering what's safe to use in terms of attacking them from within and causing huge confusion. Clearly, this has been a very effective operation, but in terms of the indiscriminate nature of these attacks, the fact that there's been civilians and people including children who have been nearby to the explosions when they have happened. It's that the enormity of the damage is very severe, and that will clearly feed in to the consequences. And this is an unconventional form of warfare, but make no mistake, it is still a form of warfare.
OK. Deborah Haynes, for now, thank you for that update. As we're looking at this image of a handheld radio, which we think one of the devices that's exploded in this now second day of small handheld devices used by Hezbollah in Lebanon exploding, as Deborah was saying, seemingly indiscriminately. 3 people known to have been killed in Bekaa, hundreds injured in this latest round of explosions.